Carlos Alcaraz is making his return at this week's Argentina Open. Carlos Alcaraz is making his long-awaited injury comeback in Argentina this week, more than 100 days after he played his last match at the Paris Masters. The 19-year-old made history last year as the youngest ever ATP World number 1 after winning the US Open, but has since played just 3 more tournaments after getting injured. Alcaraz has now lost his number 1 ranking, but his coach Juan Carlos Ferrero explained why he wasn't focused on getting it back. Alcaraz is the top seed at this week's Argentina Open, his first tournament in more than 3 months. The world number 2 was last seen on a match court 101 days ago, when he retired injured to Holger Rune in his Paris Masters quarterfinal and was then forced to pull out of the ATP Finals and Davis Cup. A new injury in preseason training delayed Alcaraz's comeback further as he had to skip the Australian Open, and he is finally back in action in Buenos Aires this week. The 19-year-old has since been overtaken by Djokovic as the world number 1, but his coach revealed that their main goal was ensuring that the Spaniard stayed healthy instead of focusing on the numbers. The objective of being number 1 is always in the head, but, naturally, it is not an obsession, because of his youth and because he has already been. Juan Carlos Ferrero, a former world number 1 himself, told Eurosport ahead of his charges return to the tour. Quote, "Right now, what Carlos wants is to be healthy and be able to compete. He wants to offer his best level and fight to win tournaments." The 2003 French Open champion also said Alcaraz was back to his usual self after back-to-back injuries as he offered a fitness update ahead of the world number 2's first match. He added, "The recovery has continued its course and in recent weeks he has been training without problems, normally playing sets and matches against different players, so everything is normal." Quote. Alcaraz's coach also explained why he thought the 19-year-old's 2 injury setbacks weren't just bad luck and likely came from the amount of tennis he ended up playing in 2022. "It's not bad luck, nor is it for having forced the machine. I think they are occupational hazards and, above all, many games accumulated, in addition to the tension of wanting to win games and play. That is where the injury occurs," Ferrero said. The US Open winner is expected to play his first match in the night session on February 15 after receiving a bye to the second round as the top seed, where he will face either Fabio Fognini or Laslo Djere. He is then scheduled to play the ATP 500s in Rio and Acapulco before the Sunshine Double of Masters in Indian Wells and Miami, and Ferrero explained how they would be assessing Alcaraz's schedule throughout. "We are really looking forward to competing and we know that the calendar is loaded with many tournaments on this tour, but we are going to go week by week. Later we will assess each step," Ferrero, who will not travel to join Alcaraz until the Acapulco Open, added. "Now we want to play as much as possible, without being more worried than normal, although there are always worries in the tennis player's head. Maybe some more after an injury, but not more than normal."